Hello again, all, and welcome back to our channel. And today is a flagship tour into Adnams Southwold, which is based down in Suffolk. Um, Originally founded in 1872, Chris, which is remarkable to see, isn't it? Really.
Uh-huh.
Um, and
There's
they
still a lot of Southwold is from
That's it, yeah.
1872. Beautiful place to visit.
Yes, it is
One of the
definitely.
best fish and chip shops in
Ooh,
the country.
mate.
I can't remember where, down by the river. Very nice. A few years ago when we were there, admittedly. Nice beach, nice walks, nice place to visit. And guess what? They do whiskey.
Oh, very nice. Just what we want. Excellent, excellent. So basically, a couple of weeks ago, Adnams kindly gifted to the Cask Connoisseur a selection of their beers. Um, I was very excited about their new Double Ghost Ship IPA, which will be the last beer which we will sample. We're going to go in order, so we're going to start with the 0.5%. So this is one for those people which are sadly the drivers. If your husband or your partner's out for the day and all that, having a few beers, but we're going to give it a try, and then we will move on to the Ghost Ship, which is up here, and then finally we will finish off with the Double Ghost IPA, which I'm really excited about. Can't wait. Now, you are probably thinking Ghost, Halloween. So we are a little bit late regarding this, but I apologise. That's just more down to the fact when there's so many beers to sample and so many whiskies to sample, trying to fit everything in into one whole month, it's just crazily impossible.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
So I think let's get started,
Oh,
and
nice.
we will try the 0.5%. Now, as I say, this is a blind tasting, so I have no clue what any of these beers taste like. Even better, Adnams even sent me a bottle opener as well, so I'm so happy. All right, here we go. Let's start. So this is our first one, as I say,
Good,
0.5%
good.
Ghost Ship. So if we look at the colour, Chris, I think we're going to instantly pick up that that is a golden pale. Um,
No, I'd agree with that.
Very, very hoppy on the
Oh,
nose.
gosh, yeah.
That is extremely hoppy.
No, no.
Hoppy, very zesty, lemons and limes,
Mm-hmm.
You're getting all those little flavours coming through, which is interesting.
You know what I'm going to say? I know this is in our local pub. Our local pub serves cracking beer,
It's
and
nice.
that's one of the low alcohol. It's not alcohol free, is
Alcohol,
it?
it's
No
low alcohol.
options that's there, and you know what? I could definitely put up with that.
Yeah.
Maybe not every night of
Not
the
every
week,
night,
but
no.
if I had to be kind to my wife and go, yes, you can have your G and T. Okay,
Yeah.
I could put up with that. Definitely, it's
Now, the interesting thing I will say is when beers are made either low alcohol or alcohol free, you sometimes get that texture inside that there's no alcohol present or limited alcohol. I instantly picked that up straight away because I've tried different beers in the past. You name it, from stuff like from Doom Bar Zero to Guinness Zero, for example, or even like Shipyard Low Tide, which is 0.5, and every single one of them has that same texture of it being low alcohol. So it's nice. It's definitely one to have if you're, wanting to go out and have a few drinks and also drive home. But as I say, it's got a little bit of alcohol in. Very hoppy though on the nose, which I was not expecting that. And in all honestly, we're just having a look here to see if we've got any tasting notes. Ah, there we go. So reason being why it's called Ghost Ship, so this is an interesting one for you. Bit of a history lesson here, guys. It's inspired by the tall tales of the ghostly ships that haunted the shores of the coast of where the brewery is located. Whispers of aromatic elderflower,
Yeah.
bold citrus and gooseberry flavours with hints of warming rye spice. Now, personally, I don't get any rye spice coming through there.
I possibly could pick up the rye, but I definitely don't get any gooseberry.
No. I'll tell you one thing that I will pick up, Chris, though, is how interesting the design is on the bottle. Have you seen it? Like, you know, actually, just makes you think now that you're actually out on the ocean drinking the beer, isn't it? So, that's very interesting.
Good label, that.
No. So, a very interesting beer, you know.
If I had to be negative, right, and the only negative, and you know me, I'm not a great fan of heavily hopped beers. They just end up being too bitter for me, and that may be a wee bit too much.
Too much,
hops,
yeah.
But I think a lot of beer drinkers won't spot that.
No,
no. They'll just go, yeah, lots of hops.
Yeah,
happy days.
Happy days. That's it. So I think it's now worth to move on to our second taste, which is the Ghost Ship. So let's get that done. But no, very interesting indeed, Chris. Very interesting indeed.
You know, I remember, what was the first non or low alcohol caliber lager, and I well remember, no.
Yeah.
I am never touching that.
That's it.
If you gave me that on a blind tasting, the worst I might go is, no, it's not my favourite tasting beer. But I mean, that is way improved, shall we say.
So Double Ghost is our next one, Chris, and to you guys. So Double Ghost has been around for ages. You know, literally every single supermarket shop I've been in, literally every single pub in Burton, should I say, I've been in, has had this beer on the tap and all that. They even stopped this down at your local pub as well, I believe, Chris, the Ghost Ship. So it's essentially a pale ale. So it's going to be similar to the 0.5, but just it's actually got beer in it. That's all I'm going to say. It's got beer in it. So I think let's crack open, see what happens, and go from there. And then we will talk about the tasting. Remember, this is blind tasting, guys, so I have no clue what any of these beers taste like. Pours very nicely. Very much a completely comparison different on colour, which I will show you guys. So if you remember that golden colour you got from the 0.5, which is that one, now you've got more of a malty, bit more like an amber coloured beer, to be fair, really. So interesting, but it's changed. That's completely changed. So on the nose, you lose that hopness that we got from a 0.5%, and now I'd say it's gone more, probably a bit more bitter, really, to be fair. Bitter, a slight hop.
Rose hips.
Yeah.
That was rose hips to me.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting, to be fair. Let's have a little taste.
Oh, sorry to say. Way better. Not that the other was bad.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. If I have to drink it, I will.
Yeah.
But
that's
give
better,
me this any day.
And the interesting thing that we can spot on this glass, guys, I don't know if you can see quite clearly, but it's got some remarkable lacing running down. A beautiful, very nice foamy head going on there.
That for a bottle.
Yeah,
it's actually really very impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, the low alcohol one was quite impressive.
The low
alcohol is even better.
You know, compared to beers that we've tried in the past, and you know, the head retention has not really been that great. I'm very impressed with that.
I could have been convinced previously the other one was a proper beer. I now realise the error of my ways.
So it's interesting to see what the tasting notes are. So basically, we are looking at a Beyond Pale Ale. It's also effectively the same notes as that, which is interesting to see. So it's elderflower, bold citrus, and gooseberry flavours with hints of warming rye spice. So effectively, what the brewery have done here, guys, is they've made Ghost Ship, and then they've also produced the alcohol version with the same recipe, but they haven't actually chucked any alcohol or less alcohol into it. So that's quite interesting to see.
No,
And
it's interesting.
the colour
notes-
comparison as well, which is
colour. There is not a significant, definitely a change in colour, and it's interesting because the hops have gone.
yeah,
Whilst they're talking elder, what do they say? Elderflower, elderberry. I'm kind of thinking rose hips, but heck, we're still in the same hedgerows. It's interesting. They've produced a low alcohol, and I keep stressing this because obviously these days you can't drink and drive, and
No.
to be candid, you probably can't drink every day of the week.
No.
It's not going to be good for your health. So that's a cracking thing to have in the background. But I don't think they smashed it out the window on low alcohol.
No.
Compared to the two, yeah. And I know what will be my favourite anyway.
Yes.
However,
we have got one more to sample here, Chris, and this is the one which we're really extremely excited about. So I hope you're looking forward to this one as well.
I'm just going to finish this.
That's fine by me. That's fine by me. So, guys, we're on to the last beer in this flagship, which Adnams kindly delivered to us. Okay, so the next one that we're going to try is the Double Ghost IPA. Now, this one, again, it's going to be similar to the 0.5, similar to the standard Ghost Ship. However, this one is a little bit stronger at 5.2%. And we are going to be slightly different on the tasting notes. So again, I don't know how this beer tastes. I don't have a clue. I've never even sampled it. This is all blind tasting. I have to reiterate that every single time. So we'll come to our conclusion on what we think, and then I'll give the exact tasting notes afterwards. Anyway, using my Adnams bottle opener, let's try and crack into this and see what happens. Here we are. Pours very nicely, which is just what you want. Okay, so incredibly, if we compare that to the last one we just tried, the colour comparison is pretty much identical, I would say, guys.
I'd struggle to separate those two. Let's see what it looks like to the 0.5.
0.5, so that was originally the 0.5. So again,
very easily distinguishable.
Yeah, that one's definitely more lighter. Now, on the nose. Okay, so really what I'm personally thinking here, Chris, is on the nose, I'm getting more that it's more like an aroma that it's gone back to being an alcohol-free beer again. It's lost something in my mind. I think it's lost that hopness or that, fruitness which the Ghost Ship had. I think that's all disappeared.
Yeah, the hops are gone. I'm not detecting that. And I'm getting actually smooth, blended, let's call it fruit puree. Let's go for fruit puree.
The taste is amazing. That taste is. That's more-ish. That's just.
This is why I don't drink very often, believe it or not, guys.
The interesting thing to mention here, guys, is so the one that we just sampled, which was Ghost Ship, there. So that is a pale ale. The one that we've got here is an IPA, and I love my IPAs. So if you don't know what IPA stands for, that basically stands for India Pale Ale. Obviously, that will be a separate video when we talk about why IPA is important and all that stuff. But that has actually brought out the main characteristic of the beer, and I think at 5.2%, that is a good beer to finish on. So
there's good body in there.
It's interesting to see that the rye spice is still followed through across all three beers. However, there is now a surge of tropical fruit, which compared to the original two, there was only elderflower and gooseberry. And there's flashes of white grape, which again, I probably will pick that up on the taste.
They're actually more accurate tasting notes.
Yeah.
I think, of the three bottles.
Of the 3 bottles, yeah.
That problem with tasting, of course, once you read what they say it's supposed to taste of, you will almost always go, oh yeah, I can get that now. But that, so I was talking of fruit puree.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can get the idea of tropical fruits, fruit puree. And I still get a bit of rye.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's interesting to find out, Chris, which one do you think you would actually go for out of the three of them?
There's no argument.
There's no argument.
I'm sorry, it's an IPA,
yeah,
so
it's an IPA.
It's going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, we were weaned on McEwan's export India Pale Ale. So.
And it's going to be interesting to hear from you guys as well to see what you think. I mean, have you actually tried any of these beers before? As I say, this is only a limited edition, you know, so we were very lucky, obviously, to be able to get our hands on this, you know. But I can fairly say, out of all three of them that we've tried, I think personally, my most favourite one has to be the. What would you say, Chris? I think it has to be the one in the middle.
Well, it has to be the IPA,
followed
by the pale, followed by the low alcohol.
I agree.
Which isn't bad.
Isn't bad
compared when you compare all three.
Yeah.
No, it's
that's
not that good.
Yeah. And on that note, guys, I'm going to now round off this video. I hope you've really enjoyed it. Please, as I remember, like, comment, and subscribe to the Cask Connoisseur. We will be back again here next time with another famous video. Cheers.
Cheers all.